I am below average student in my schooling. Which I was offered for is into talent acquisition. And it's one of the most complicated subject is oil and gas. So oil and gas consists of two parts. One is onshore. On the shore,
Okay.
they drill up the oil. The second
Okay.
part is offshore.
Okay.
That is one of the critical part where you drill oil in the subsea.
Yeah.
Manufacturing industry, I have hired for technical leaders who operate in terms of the windmill parts where they provide this manufacturing sector in India.
Hey everyone, welcome to I'm a Recruiter podcast. I'm your host Prasila Devi, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. I'm a Recruiter is more than just a podcast. It's a movement by and for talent acquisition professionals. We are here to shake things up and help 100K recruiters evolve from a traditional recruiter to a trusted advisor. Our vision is to build a most influential global community for TA professionals, and you are at the heart of it. If you are getting any value out of our content, please don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Also, once you complete this video, please try to comment in the comment section. Let's build this community together. With this, it's time to welcome our guest. So we have another very special guest. Ruth is a seasoned recruiter with over 9+ years of experience. She is currently working with Bounteous Acolyte and has previously worked with companies like Randstad. Her areas of expertise include recruitment in various sectors such as engineering, testing, digital, non-IT, in non-IT, specifically in oil and gas and manufacturing. Ruth has received several awards for her performance, including Best Outperformer Award, CU Club Award, Rice Award. She is also a Naukri Master certified professional. In her free time, Ruth enjoy music, singing, and watching crime movies. So with this, welcome Ruth. We are really grateful to have you in I'm a Recruiter podcast. Again, this platform is for all the individual recruiter to share their success story, their learning, their challenges, because we believe that we don't celebrate much about our life. So we are just trying to create a platform where we celebrate the success stories of our individual life. So once again, welcome and thank you for your time, Ruth.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Praful. It's great to connect with you as well. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Great. So, Ruth, as we discussed earlier, Recruiter podcast is again about you and your journey. So, we'll try to start from very beginning, right? Which place you were born in what?
I'm from a beautiful city called Chennai. So I'm
Okay.
born and brought up in Chennai, completely residing in Chennai. And I traveled to Bangalore as well. But my heart says Chennai always. So yeah, so in Chennai, I'm born and brought up in Chennai, studied in Chennai. I know I started, my schooling in Chennai itself, and I did my BCom in Women's Christian College in Chennai, and I did my master's in social work from Loyola College, Chennai. So that's about me in terms of, with Chennai as well. Yeah.
Great. So, not everyone from Chennai, right? Because our audience might be from across India, outside of India as well. So, for those people, can you also tell what are the few things people can do in Chennai once they're any tourists, what they would love to do there?
The first thing is Marina Beach.
Okay.
Anyone who, comes to Chennai, they usually visit Marina because that's the longest beach that you'll ever
Okay.
see. So that is one thing. And if you're coming up in April or May, you will experience most heat in Chennai. So that is the most moment that you will experience in Chennai. And also have Besant Nagar Beach in terms of, beaches. Thiruvanmiyur is a place where you will have a very short beach. You can go for a walk in the morning. You can experience the sunrise and sunset. It is extremely beautiful. And you have multiple malls to visit in Chennai. We have Phoenix, we have VR. And also, Chennai is equally cooperative to Bangalore in terms of traffic. So, that is also
Yes.
part of it.
Yes. Recently, like last December, I had got the chance to visit Chennai, and even I felt the same thing. Traffic is equally or little bit, I must say, coming up, I would say,
Yeah.
right? So whoever think that it's just Bangalore or Delhi or other places, Chennai is also competing traffic parallelly or equally, I would say. Apart from that, one thing which I liked about Chennai is the food. Definitely, I feel
Exactly.
good. The food. And other things
Excellent.
I found was a lot of things for the kids play area, play zone type, right? So things they can do, they can enjoy the day as well. Great. So once again, welcome, Ruth. You might have already told about your education background, but just wanted to focus a little bit more. So how were you during your studies days, right? As a student, were you very studious or kind of average, or you just was trying to complete or get passed in your exam?
I will say I am below average student in my schooling. So I was very shy. I had my passion in music when I was in school. I used to do sports activities. That was my interest. And I didn't have much interest in, learning and things. But at one point of time, I was thinking what I have to do in life. So that is where I took the first decision of, taking commerce as a group. And I found that this is my interest and I can do that very well. So something related to business. And I was very passionate once I started my BCom degree. I was about to finish and I was thinking, what is going to be my profession? So that's when I decided HR is going to be my profession. And I did my master's in social work and specialized as well. So sometimes in life, certain points, when you start thinking what next, it automatically gives you an answer saying that you have to do something well for yourself. You know what it is. So, sometimes when you're silent and quiet, it gives you a lot of meaning of what you have done and what best you can do. So that is when I realized that HR is my cup of tea and definitely I can do something really well on it. And I also, once I started thinking about myself and my strengths, passed in first class in BCom. When I was a below average student at school, I passed in first class in BCom and I passed distinction in masters in social work, which I did. So I felt like, school is not only a place that decides your grades or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You once you decide on your passion and you know what you are good at it, you will definitely go to places. So that is what I kind of, that is my total learning curve in my whole life.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I can, sorry, I can definitely echo that. The sound is echoing, I think. Can you hear?
I can hear you, Praful. Yeah.
Okay, so I can definitely echo that because I was kind of an average student, I would say. Till 10, I was just enjoying, right? Love playing, I love hanging out with friends. Same like you, the realization also came when I was doing my engineering time, right? Till the time we ourselves doesn't realize whatever our parents say, whatever anyone say, we don't bother. So post realization, even I felt it like I was a people person and probably like MBA is the good thing to get into HR, and I started doing MBA. Hey, good to know. Realization is very important, and we as an individual, we have to know what's our strength and what's our weakness as well. Okay, so post your education, right? So how did you knew that you have to get into talent acquisition or you have to get into HR professionally?
Okay. So as I told you earlier, I have decided HR is my line. But once I got into my first job, I didn't know that, so many divisions in HR. So you have payroll, you have HR operations, you have people and culture in terms of rewards and recognitions you have a team for. You have talent acquisition. So the first job which I was offered for is into talent acquisition. And it's one of the most complicated subject is oil and gas. So immediately, somebody getting into talent acquisition, immediately learning a niche kind of domain called the oil and gas. Most of them will be aware about IT, but
Yes.
it's very rare people knowing about oil and gas and the potential, the market that has in the whole world. So in terms of that, it was quite challenging. First you have to get into the system, how the portals work, how you work. Because I joined in a consulting company.
Okay.
So the whole structure varies from a corporate to a consulting company where you will have to work with multiple clients. And I work with renowned oil and gas clients. And initial days where you don't know anything, you are zero. Whatever you studied in your subjects, it is completely different once you sit in the
Different.
system and you start working. So the first call where I'm, call with a candidate, I was taking a step back because I didn't know what to talk, how to present myself. So the first call will make you think of how to present yourself. The second call will help you how better you can make yourself. The third call will make you think how well you can present the position that you have for the candidate. So every call that I started making, it has become better and better. Coming from a consulting background that I started, it made me realize that you can explore yourself actually.
Yes.
It was not only into oil and gas. I started working with finance and manufacturing, and also windmill manufacturing is one sector that I worked for. So slowly the position started bringing me, in terms of becoming an individual spark and managing the clients directly as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So
You have
that
mentioned
is
about,
how, yeah.
yeah, sorry. So you have
Yeah, yeah.
mentioned about
Please.
oil and gas, mentioned about manufacturing that to windmills, right?
Yes.
So we talk little bit more about like oil and gas because not everyone is aware of what kind of hiring people does in oil and gas industry, right? Now, do we have oil and gas industry in India? Do you hire for
Yes.
them or do you hire from outside of India?
That is a very good perspective from you, Praful. So people tend to think like oil and gas is only the Saudi Arabia, only the Middle East region. But I will tell you, we have sources in India, majorly in Rajasthan, which says that you have pure oil and gas in India is available, where you convert the crude oil in different potential of oils.
Okay.
It can be converted into oil and gas. So India has some of the major companies like Indian Oil Corporation.
Okay.
Yeah. And also Geo also has partnered with British Petroleum as well.
Okay.
Yeah. We, as an organization in my previous company, I started working directly with oil and gas companies in India who also, work in projects abroad.
Okay.
So the major source in India works for projects abroad. So oil and gas majorly covers the Middle East as well. So be it Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq. Apart from that, there are sources in the US also. So that is
Okay.
one potential that we have.
So when you talked about oil and gas, I remember my dad basically he worked for a company named Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, and
Yes.
it's another company name called Oil India, which is also so these are the like when we talk about Assam, not lots of people know what Assam is popular for. So Assam we get lots and lots of tea plantation and other things, right? But apart from that we also get like these are two of the major companies. They have their plant production base in Assam. So you were talking about hiring, right? So what kind of hiring you have done for these oil companies?
So, starting from civil, we will hire for structural engineers. We have electrical engineers. We have design engineers who will design the pipelines, who will design the substations of the plant. Oil and gas consists of two parts. One is onshore. On the shore,
Okay.
they drill up the oil. The
Okay.
second part is offshore.
Okay.
That is one of the critical part where you drill oil in the subsea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's quite an interesting business. In hiring, you need to know more on the industry. You have to study the industry of oil and gas. You need to keep yourself updated. You need to do a lot of research on how it works, when it works, what are the pros and cons that they face, because offshore people are paid really high than
Yeah.
compared to onshore.
Also.
Because, yeah, exactly. Because it has a lot of, disclaimers for them to follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of risk as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the drilling happens in the subsea. So there's a lot of risk for them that they have to take.
Yeah. And you also mentioned about like in India, do we just have the public sector companies like Indian Oil or Oil India or ONGC, or do we also have a private sector companies as well?
Praful, there are more than hundreds of private sector companies, hundreds and hundreds of private
Okay.
sector
Okay.
companies in the oil and gas in India. Some of
Okay.
the major companies is Shell. Geo has hit its partnership with British Petroleum, have Naira Energy. Also, you would have seen a lot of petrol bunks in terms of
Yes.
Shell. So they're growing ahead in the market. And we have a company called Foster Wheeler, which is a UK based company. Now it's turned into Amek Foster Wheeler. We have Rambol. We have multiple organizations in India operating for oil and gas.
Okay, nice. And how is the pay structure? Like, is it comparatively high or compared to IT or it's comparatively equal?
At certain points, you will see there are variant pay structures, Praful. Compared to IT, here and there it is a little bit less. I would not say it is that high up to IT. But if you look at the offshore market, it is equivalent and more than IT as well.
Yes.
The offshore market pays really well.
Okay. You have also mentioned that you have worked with the manufacturing as well. So in
Yes.
manufacturing industry, what kind of things you have done in windmill specifically? What kind of hiring you
Exactly.
have done?
So for the manufacturing industry, I have hired for technical leaders who operate in terms of the windmill parts, where they provide this manufacturing sector in India, which is in Chennai, near Chennai actually. They manufacture it here, and they, rotate it all over the world. Yeah, they export it all over the world, even to Russia, Germany as well. So, this is getting manufactured here, assembled here, and it's moving to a different country as well.
But the parts of the windmills are so huge.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's very difficult for the transit as well, right? To move
Yes.
across India,
Yes.
or let's say if you need to send to some other countries.
Yes. Some of the parts, they usually ship it big. They usually ship it, and some of the part, they also use space industry. Yeah, it's really huge, but it's a lot of investment. They find Indian market to be best helpful, useful, and saves a lot of money for them. So that's how they make better utilization of the Indian market as well.
And how do you source profiles for oil and gas industry as well as like for the windmill manufacturing industry?
Praful, one part is that Naukri is an Indian job board that helps you out everywhere that you go. And apart from that, you also do employee referral. As in, if you are hiring somebody, that is the catch of you. They know 10 people ahead. Because for an IT, you have job boards, you have LinkedIn that will help you. But this industry, you have Naukri Gulf as well. There's
Yeah.
something called as Naukri Gulf, and there's oil and gas job board where people from the world, they upload their resumes, and you can contact anybody in the world for the requirement that you have. So this industry needs a lot of referrals, needs a lot of extra hands, needs a lot of walk and drives, because it is a hidden industry in India, but it has its place where people are able to see the value of the industry now.
Okay. And did you also face any kind of challenges or situation during your whole recruitment journey?
Exactly. So, Praful, as I told you, I am somebody who worked in completely non IT. So, my current company is completely into IT. So, that is the biggest challenge that I faced when, once I joined this organization, I was hired for a corporate recruiter role. So, I was in the assumption of working more into the non IT, working for corporate requirements. So, that is where Bob came to me saying that, we are moving you to a different role and you will have to do IT sourcing. So I had a mentor. This person really helped me to cope up, at that time, because at one point of time I said, like, too much is already done and I have not done even one hiring yet in IT. So IT, not IT, I was definitely able to close that thing. But I said, I will leave the organization. It's better for me. So that person, he said he will invest time on me. He will help me out if I have any doubts. He also stood and he taught me how each technology worked. It happened for almost 10 days. And that is where I thought, okay, why not this? I've done extremely well in non-IT. So why can't I my level of experience here in IT? So boom, everything changed in a couple of years. So I'm currently handling almost a business individually now. So as a recruiter, it's not about the industry. It's about how you do it differently. So that is something that, it changed the whole perspective of what I was thinking about.
So, what was the difficult situation you faced, like moving from a non-IT to IT? Were you not able to understand the technology terms or the skills wise? Like, what was the bigger challenge? Because, like, as a recruiter, what I understand is like we just need to focus on the key skills and try to find people based on the skills. So, was that a challenge or there was something else?
The first point is that, as you have mentioned, technology varied from each other. It was not the same. So I had to analyze how each technology works. So that was one thing. But because IT is something and things change every day. So you need to keep updating yourself. Second is non-IT. In non-IT, people did not have multiple offers. When you offer a candidate, the candidate, it'll take time for non-IT people to join. But in IT, people ship for multiple offers.
Yes.
So that was a very big challenge. Grooming myself into the IT industry, learning a lot of how each businesses work, because we are a service-based organization, and every business, every expectation from the client varied from what we were looking for. And I also did something called as program-based hiring, which was hiring candidates exclusively from a career break. So that is also something new for me that I did that, gave me an opportunity to do that for 1.5 years.
And as a person, like it's not related to work or profession. So just wanted to know what kind of person Ruth is. Are you kind of an emotional person or you are a bold person? What kind of person you are in general, Ruth?
Actually, I'm a very shy, introvert person. I think the profession changed myself. I don't come out very much. I like to stay at home a lot. I have very limited friends. And I started making a lot of friends once, I started my journey in HR, because that's where you learn from others. So, yeah, about myself and even my personality, my confidence level, the way I carry myself, everything started evolving in a different way once I stepped in the HR industry. So, as a person, even though I'm an introvert and, I have limited space for myself, not allowing others in the space, my career changed my whole perspective of life as well. And in person, I'm happy going, and, I like to learn a lot from others, because certain times you tend to know like certain things, but others will teach you things in a different perspective. They will even try to teach you about new technologies, new updates about each organization. So when you start listening to them, tend to learn a lot of things. So that's one thing.
And like since we are talking about your personal life, you mentioned that you were kind of a shy person. And trust me, we have interviewed almost like 40 plus people now. Most of the TA folks are kind of an introvert person. Hardly there will be like 5, 6% we might have met who is kind of an extrovert. In general, most of the person have to move from introvert to extrovert because of his or her profession or because we have to evolve in our career, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. So like let's talk a little bit about your home, about your house. Who all are there in your house, like, and what kind of upbringing you had, and how did you, like, as a person, how did you save yourself, help you out when you are shy, when you don't have much friends? Sometimes it's very for you to connect with your parents or family members. In general, for me, I was also I had very limited friends like you, right? So what I used to do is I used to go home, I used to talk to my mom a lot, right? So mom used to know about my girlfriends and other things as well, my whoever little friends I had, right? What kind of issue as a boy we used to go out and do, what kind of stuff we do. We tell everything to my mom, right? So who was close in your family, and was that helpful for you to get your things out from your mind? Because as a shy person, sometimes it's very difficult to share our thought process, right?
Exactly. So when I share something, 1,001 times I will think whether to share it or not. So my parents are educated and they are working parents too. So my mom is a teacher. So I have seen my mom working hard to provide for us in a more responsible manner. And her dedication towards work, the way she balances family and work. If I come to the situation, I will definitely say I will not be able to do that. So even though she has come from a different industry and background, the learning that I get from my mom is like tremendous. The challenges that she has faced in her life, and the way she understands things, mentors us. The first mentor, if you ask me, my mom is the first mentor. The advice that she gives, and she can easily figure out what you're up to. So that is a special instinct every mom has. So I think I'm blessed really in terms of that. A very difficult situation that I faced, was when both my parents had COVID. I had to admit my mom in a hospital, and she was at a critical stage. So that is where you will have to think what's really happening and whether it's a state of survival or not. So it takes you to a different level of mind. I mean, you need to have supportive colleagues at that time and supportive friends at that time who really helped us. My previous organization, really, they helped me a lot in terms of that, understanding the family and understanding the business situation also. So I was able to balance the situation. Thankfully, all the credit goes to my family and the previous organization as well. Certain difficult challenges at home you face, in terms of your parents or your spouse or your friends or your extended family. That is where somebody should help you in terms of balancing what you currently go through and what you're up to next. So I think I'm blessed to have good parents in that way.
So COVID was some of the very tough situation for everyone, and it has made everyone realize that those materialistic things are not that important compared to individual's life. And because of that, I think most of the people have realized the difference between work-life balance and other things. Right? The prioritization happens when we see so many close friends, family have lost their families and all so closely. Then you realize that life is matter of anything can happen to anyone any moment, right? So you have to live those moments with joy, happiness, and other things, right? It's not
Exactly.
only
Yeah.
about, it's about your individual family time as well, which is important, right? But
Yeah.
not
True.
every organization talks about that, right? For organization, it's mostly about profit numbers and other things, right? I think we are almost on a time. So any last piece of advice you would love to give to a recruiter friend? It can be anyone who is starting their journey or anyone who is in the mid-career or someone. Because every individual has different experiences, different learnings, different challenges. Do you want to share something?
Definitely. Praful, thank you for this opportunity. And it was very nice talking to you as well. The best advice is that once you start taking the first step, to move ahead, life will automatically take you to the next step. So, and you make the moment. So, in terms of the challenges, that we face, we get a lot of pressure from the business that we are currently working. We get a pressure from, at times we get it from our family. We will have a lot of questions to, balance both work and family life as well. The best step that you can take is give time for yourself. I think people tend to forget about themselves first. So, your health is really important. Your mental ability is really important. Your well being, both physically, emotionally, mentally, is really important for
Important.
yourself. Yeah. So, when you feel that you're totally fine, that is where you can look at the other perspectives of life, be it work
Yes.
or other members in your family, other things that come up, your learning curve. So the first priority should be you. When you start giving priority to yourself, things will come to you. It's a magical experience that you will tend to know. Suddenly, people will help you. Suddenly, there will be support coming to you. There will be learning. That is how, I'm a recruiter Chennai when I attended. I got a lot of connections when I started meeting a lot of people. Still, they are in touch with me. So, this kind of magical exposure happens when you want to take the first step. I'm really grateful for that. So, challenges will be there. Life has to go on. You would face losses. You would face challenging experience that will topple down the whole situation. At the same time, you will come through what you're going through. So, life is something about you live yourself first and enjoy your experience that you are going through, be it difficult time, hard time, it's just a phase of life.
Yes.
So
Yes.
every recruiter, as a recruiter, you will have challenges at work, be it a stressful phase, be it a stressful boss as well, be it a stressful situation where the candidate does not join. That's the biggest failure of a recruiter that every recruiter calls for. But it's a phase of life. You will have solution driven opportunities. That is where you will think what next has to be done. Sometimes, we don't sit in a situation and we tell ourselves, this is a situation. As recruiters, we find solutions. So I think that is one thing. That is the message that I want to give to the other fellow recruiters.
So other short question which I have for you is like, what has made you overcome your shyness and come out of your comfort zone? For example, you mentioned that you started networking with people, you started connecting with people, you started going to multiple different events, right? So how did you attended I am recruiter event? Like what has inspired you to come and meet up?
So there is a fellow person called David. He was the one who invited me. He said, "You just come to this event and it's going to make a difference." So I was thinking about it because it took a lot of few months. I did not attend any event or almost more than a year, I can say. So this was the first event that I attended after months together. And yes, it made a difference. So, once I started talking to other people, I also found out what differently that they are doing. Even we had people from hospital industry, people from who were doing projects in terms of disability.
Yes.
So yeah, from medical industry, from cancer institutions. So apart from IT and other non-IT sectors, there were people from other industries who could run the show for themselves. So I think that is where you start taking the first step.
Yes.
Opportunities will come to you. So that is something that happened.
And how was your experience in I am a recruiter meetup? Did you learn anything specific? Did you met friends or started connecting with people?
Yes, Praful. One session that we had, the discussion in terms of artificial intelligence, the guest speaker you called for, there were a lot of questions. I think I also asked a lot of questions to them. So that was really insightful. And I had made a lot of connections and I have made a lot of friends as well who are still in touch. And so that is where, that things will change when you come to a community, that the right community exactly for recruiters, which will help you build yourself, explore yourself, and learn from others. So, this is what you can do. Build, explore, and learn is something that will extremely give you an outbringing in your life.
Yes. Thanks, Ruth, for sharing that. One last question now. So you also, fun fact, okay? You also mentioned that you like watching crime movies. How did you
Exactly.
started watching those crime movies and what have made you fall in love with those movies?
Thanks for this question, Praful. So, crime movies, I already like crime movies, especially during COVID. So, most of the time you can't go out. So, after work, you have to do something for yourself. So, one best thing that I learned in crime movies is that you don't know what next happens. And there is a twist actually. You think that this is how it is going to end, but there will be a twist in the movie. The same way happens in life. You have a plan, and that plan definitely will not work.
Yeah,
You will have
yeah.
a different plan that comes. You will have things different. You will have different people to face, different consequences will happen. So, this twist and turn in life is the unexpected situation, but how you face the unexpected situation, the twist and turns that you face in life, that gives an ending, and what next you don't know. So, that is the fantasy of these crime movies.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so one last advice or like question again here is like since most of the people have come to our podcast, right? So what made you realize that you should come to I'm Recruiter podcast or in general podcast?
This is my first podcast full. So I was happy you invited me for the part of podcast. And this is an opportunity and a platform that you're giving others to express themselves and their life experience as well. So I really want to thank you for that. This is something that not only I'm a recruiter benefits out of it, but also me as a person, I get benefited where I can showcase my ability as well. So after this podcast, I will realize like, okay, I can speak well in a podcast because this is a live show that is going on and there is no edit for this show. So that is when you realize that, this is a great platform for you to express yourself and your experiences well. So thank you
Got it,
very
got
much
it.
for that.
No, thanks to you, Ruth. Definitely not everyone, even though we have thousands or lakhs of people, really take courage one step to move ahead, right? So I think we are just trying to call everyone to share their journey, their experiences, so that everyone can learn from each other's journey, right? So we are just trying to make one step from our end, and we are expecting so that other recruiters can also come and share their journey as well. But thank you
Exactly.
so much for your time, for sharing your personal journey, however it is, whatever it is, you were open. You told that you were below average. Not many people have the courage to say as well. Being a shy person myself, I was not able to come out of my shyness. But when I have seen people like you and other people, then it has pushed me a lot. And definitely after seeing your podcast or our podcast, there will be people whom we will be inspiring to come out from their comfort zone. Right? So
Definitely.
overall, thank you once again. It was lovely talking to you, Ruth. God bless you, and looking forward for more podcasts together.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity, Praful. Thank you so much.